Assalamu alaikum. This is a greeting Muslims greet one another with, whether they know each other or not. If I see another Muslim in the store, I greet them with Assalamu alaikum. Try it out. Assalamu alaikum. The word salam is found in the word Islam because Islam means peace through submission to God. For Muslims, Islam is more than a religion, it's a complete way of life. What they eat, how they dress, what kind of job they have, how they treat each other, it's all encompassing. It's not just about prayer. People who practice Islam are called Muslim. It is not a nationality, it's not a language, it's not a country, it's a belief. Anybody can be Muslim. You might think you don't know any Muslims. For starters, you know me. But there's many famous Muslims, and then there's many Muslims in the community that don't fit your stereotype of what a Muslim looks like. Some not so famous Muslims that you might know and not be aware of is your doctor or your police officer or just your neighbor. A very famous Muslim name is Muhammad. It is the most actually popular name in the world. Many Muslims name the name Muhammad. It is definitely associated with Islam because Prophet Muhammad, who was born 570 years after the death of Christ, received the revelation of the religion of Islam. Islam is a very monotheistic religion. If you get nothing out of my talk today, at least know that Islam believes, or Muslims believe in only one God, God the Creator, and they consider themselves to be the continuation of the Judeo-Christian tradition. That means they believe the same God of Abraham is the same God of Moses, is the same God of Jesus, is also the same God of Muhammad. There are many Muslims in the world, over 1.9 billion Muslims. That means 1 in 4 people is Muslim. That's a quarter of the Earth population. They come from all over the world. You'd be surprised to know that the majority of the Muslims do not come from Arab countries. Only 18% of the Muslim population comes from the Arab countries. The majority of Muslims come from countries like India, Pakistan. Quite a few come from China. In America, we used to say we're the melting pot, and I'm so glad they've changed that acronym and call us now a tossed salad so that we can be ourselves of different nationalities and different neat things that we can bring to the table. So Muslims are also a tossed salad. In Islam, we have the way people practice out of religion and things they do out of culture. And this comes up a little bit, especially in movies, when you see how women dress. Some women are shown with their whole face covered or wearing what we call a niqab or a burqa, but these are cultural. These are not part of the religious teaching. In Islam, women are required to cover their whole body except face, hands, and feet. And the only requirement is that it's loose-fitting and not see-through. There's nothing specified on what color it is or if it has to be a dress or a skirt or pants. It just needs to be loose-fitting. Now, not every woman who's Muslim wears a scarf. I would say about 50%, only half the women in the world who are old enough to wear a scarf wear a scarf. And I say old enough because little kids don't have to wear a scarf. They're supposed to start at the age of puberty, but I started way after the age of puberty. I started my senior year of high school, and my mother started when she was well in her 40s, so definitely way after puberty. And it's a choice. Nobody's forcing anybody to wear a scarf, and definitely not in America. But my daughters did choose to wear a scarf when they were in elementary school, and we did not stop them. You're probably wondering, well, then how do we go swimming? It can be challenging, and it was challenging when my kids were younger. But now we have so many options. You can easily Google Islamic bathing suits and buy one. My favorite one comes from Australia, and it's called a Burkini. I think it's a very cute name, well marketed. Some people wonder, well, how do you get a haircut? Where do you go? And luckily in Utah, we have only one Muslim-owned dresser salon where we can go for haircuts. But I found if I go to my local salon and ask to go either before hours or after hours, I can get a private haircut. So it hasn't been too bad of a challenge. It definitely beats all the years I asked my husband to cut my hair. But that's another good benefit of wearing a scarf. If you get a bad haircut, nobody sees it. You just wear the scarf and it saves you the embarrassment. All right, let's go over the basic beliefs in Islam. There are 7 tenets of faith. The first is the belief in one God. You probably heard the word Allah. Allah is just the Arabic word for God. In Islam, we do not have a picture or a statue or any representation of what God looks like, but we do have what we call the 99 attributes of God. They're descriptions, they're adjectives. And if I was to ask you, can you think of ways to describe God? You would probably hit many of them right on the head. God is the all-knowing, the all-seeing, the all-hearing, the loving, the forgiving, the merciful, the just, the judge. And you might not get all the rest. He's the first, the last, the eternal. He is the ever-living, the everlasting. Anyway, there's 99 of these adjectives to describe God. He's neither male nor female. And hopefully one day, Muslims hope to meet him, and I say him, but to meet God in heaven. Muslims also believe in angels. Angels are creatures created out of light. Humans, on the other hand, are created out of dirt. I don't look like dirt, so I really don't know what angels look like. But Muslims believe every human being on this earth has at least 2 angels with him at all times. One that records their good deeds and one that records their bad deeds. They're not like the Tom and Jerry cartoon characters. They don't talk to you, they don't tell you what to do, but they are a constant reminder that everything you do matters and it is recorded and you will be judged for it. Muslims also believe in prophets, that God did not just put us on this earth and lets us figure it out on our own, but he chose prophets over time to teach people what is the right thing to do. Hundreds of thousands of prophets have been chosen over time, with the first being Adam, and the Muslim belief is that the last one was Muhammad. Many of these prophets, you probably might be familiar with their names in English. I'm going to give you the Arabic names and see if you can think what the English equivalence is. Dawood, David. Zechariah is Zechariah. Ishaq, Isaac. Nuh, Noah. Here's a hard one. Isa is Jesus. So yes, Muslims do believe in Isa, in Jesus. They believe in his miraculous birth from the Virgin Mother Mary. They believe in his miracles from healing the sick and raising the dead and healing the blind and the leper. They even give him 2 more miracles. Muslims believe that he spoke as an infant, as a baby, and that he gave a clay bird life. But they believe all these were miracles, just like Moses split the sea, just like Solomon could speak with animals. Anyway, all these different stories of the prophets, they all had different miracles. Muslims also believe that some of these prophets came with scriptures, the scrolls to Abraham, the Torah to Moses, the Psalms to David, the Gospel to Jesus, and the Quran to Muhammad. They view them all as holy books, as scriptures, but they only follow the Quran as their book of teaching. So if you were to pick up a Quran, a good Quran anyway, it will always have the Arabic on one side, the translation in whatever language that you might find, whether it's English, French, German, And then if you have a really good Quran, it will come with commentary. And it's really important if you want to study the Quran to get one with commentary, because the commentary gives you the story behind the story, why the verses were revealed, so that verses are not taken out of context, which happens with people who are pushing their own agenda sometimes around the world and using it for their own benefits. The other thing that Muslims follow, in addition to the Quran, is called hadith. So we view as the Quran as the words of God, but hadith is the advice or sayings of Prophet Muhammad during his lifetime. So there's over 10,000 hadith, but they're nice and short and sweet. Things like, he who eats his fill while his neighbor goes without food is not a believer. My sister's favorite one is, the world is green and beautiful, and God has appointed you his stewards towards it. The next article of faith is the Day of Judgment. Muslims believe that everybody will be held accountable for their actions. Small, big actions, good, bad actions, they all matter. God has assigned your angels to write everything down. And yes, God is forgiving, God is merciful. You can ask God to forgive you, but God is fair. So if you've harmed another human being, it doesn't just disappear and go away. The last belief is a hard one to cover, but it's called in Arabic, qada wa qadar. For a lack of a better word, some people call it destiny. I don't know what's the best translation. Some people say divine plan. Some people use kismet. I don't know. There's so many words out there. But the bottom line, God exists outside of time. And he can see the future and he can see the past all at the same time. He can see your great-great-grandfather and your great-great-grandchild all at the same time, and he knows what's going to happen. But we also have free will. And sometimes things God lets happen that are beyond our control. Whether we want it to happen or not, God has, so to speak, has written it in your future. I think it's God's way to let us accept things that are out of our control and to accept that it's his will, so to speak. Doesn't mean do stupid things and then blame God for it. But when things really are out of your control, whether you get cancer, or there's a flood in your house, or your house burnt down, or a loved one died, to realize it's a test or a trial from God, and what matters is how you react to the event. So that's what qada wa qadar is all about.